Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Cathy and this is Homespun by Cathy. In this video, we're going to be working on some Christmas decorations for my house. This year, I asked my husband's opinion. Well, I really wasn't expecting a response, but I got one. And he likes red and black. And I think it's because he's very traditional and we used to live in a log house and he's always liked that kind of thing, a little more rustic, things a little more natural. So I went to the Goodwill the following week. I travel around on my job, just out and back in one day, but I go through a lot of little small communities. So I stop at all the Goodwills, of course, and I just started looking for whatever I could find that was red and black. So I only ended up with two shirts and 2 pajama pants. And obviously you can see this one is really a bright tomato red and this one is a little bit more pink in it. But I think all in all they'll look okay together. I'm gonna go throw these in the wash. While the flannel is washing, let's get something ready for my front porch. I had these 2 planters left over. I think I got them from Dollar General for $7 or $8. And I like them because they're tall and I like to plant vines that kind of spill over the side, but those are all done now. So I am going to try to cut these tomato cages and put them in there and put some greenery around them. It took me a minute to figure out what I really wanted to do here, but I actually had to cut off the top 2 circles on each tomato cage to have enough to put down into the soil. And then I wanted the smaller circle to sit right around the rim of the planter. And then I have enough at the top to put them together to make like a little triangle shape. Once I brought them in, I just simply took some wire and tied the 3 pieces together at the top. And I'm just using floral wire. I don't know the gauge, but it's not super strong, but it held them perfectly fine. So I had these, I believe these were 8 feet long, white pine garlands, nothing expensive. And they had wire in them. So I just tied 1 piece of the wire, just looped it around at the bottom and just spiraled it all the way to the top. And then I just used small pieces of wire here and there, not every single spiral, but just to hold it. I know there's spaces in there, but I just wanted to hold it. And this ribbon is not burlap, it's a tighter weave, but it reminded me of burlap and it looks natural, and then it just has a little bit of a gold edge with wire in it. So I used that as a base for the flannel. And then I took 2 sleeves from one of the shirts and cut it so it would just end up being one long piece. And then I wrapped that around and just tied a knot in the front. And I think they turned out really cute. You know what? It was a lot cheaper than a lot of ribbon. So I had some little sprays of kind of holiday looking things with pine cones and red berries. So I just, whatever I had 2 of, I just put them on there because my house is pretty far off the road and you can't really see it that much anyway. So I'm not worried about every little space being covered. I just wanted it to look a little bit festive and I wanted to get some of that flannel on there for my front porch. And they really turned out cute. I had a long garland that stopped about halfway down the columns, and the height of these planters were perfect just to help it all blend in together. So on to the Christmas decorations. These are the balls that I've been using every year. And then, as I mentioned once before, I have a lot of birds that I like to put on my tree. So I'm still going to use the birds, but I'm just going to use the flannel to cover the round decorations that I already have. So I got a square cut out, and I have to admit, I adjusted it down after a couple of tries. And I just put one dot of blue on the bottom, and I made more of a rectangle here. And then I pulled up the short sides. And my idea is just to gather it around the top. So I pulled in the long sides, and then I kind of folded them in to the short sides and pleated them up. And that way it covered the ball completely and it wasn't too much fabric around the top. I want to tie these with twine and without them looking too bulky. So once I got these all together, I just gathered it up and trimmed off the top and then got a longer piece of twine to tie around. I tied a small knot and I left one of the tails kind of short. And then I used the long one to wrap around a couple times and then tie a little small bow. I think the bows ended up so small, nobody would really notice them. So I'm sure a knot would be fine. And I think these turned out really, really cute. I think I did about 10 of them, and it is a really cute and economical way to not have to buy new decorations, and then you could actually change this fabric every year if you wanted to. It would be cute to use some sweater material. So let's get the tree built and see how they look. I built this Christmas tree box last year, I think. It's a pretty simple build, and I got the inspiration from Julie's Designs and Signs. If you want to check her out, she is very, very creative. But anyway, it was really simple, and I got this little tree. There's my kitty. She's so sweet. But I got this tree from Wayfair last year, and it's one of those skinny trees, or they call it a pencil tree sometimes. And even though this box is really big, like for a full-size tree, I like putting my small tree in there because I just push it to one side, and then it leaves me a lot of space on the other side, and we just put our gifts in there. So you can kind of corral everything in. And this is pretty if you put a blanket or whatever you want to drape in there, a throw or something like that. And I like this tree because it's 3 different kinds of green in there. Some pine, some fir, some spruce. So here's the finished product. I got those. It was about 10 of the Christmas balls covered with the flannel. I really think that's a good idea now. It didn't take any time at all. And I got all my birds on the tree as well. And I think the red and black is kind of cool. I think I'm going to expand on that next year. If you have a Big Lots near you, their stuff is on super sale right now. And I got this black and red checked tree skirt there for really cheap. So I just used that to drape over and have more of the red and black. I hope you guys like this and will maybe try this for yourself. Now we're going to have a little 2022 recap. You know, guys, we have cut and we have sanded and we have waxed and stained and painted our way through some really cool projects this year. And I really appreciate you guys watching my videos all year. So I hope you will stay subscribed to my channel, and I'll be back in 2023. I hope you have happy holidays and a very Merry Christmas. I will see you in 2023.